Welcome to Season 3 of Soccer Over Gotham, an NWSL podcast covering New Jersey, New York, Gotham FC. Hosted by Ruby Pinto and Gary Gibson. Welcome to episode 73 of Soccer Over Gotham. We have a great show for all of you. Gary, what do we have in this episode?
This episode falls under the category of too much. But happy Pride Month, everybody. By the time you hear this, it will be Pride Month. We are going to recap an undefeated month of May, and the second week in a row, Gotham claims the top spot on the table. Gotham dominates another top team in the Spirit on the road and comes away with just a point. Bruninha finds her scoring boots and wins NWSL Player of the Week. We preview our next two opponents. That's right, the Challenge Cup is back. Home Sunday against the Wave Pride Night. Then, midweek, home again against the Pride. No guests this week. In segment 2, Ruby and I are going to discuss Gotham's best and worst case scenario for the World Cup. But there is so much to talk about. Ruby, let's just get started. How are you?
I am doing much better. So this weekend, my allergies just went crazy and I didn't really get to enjoy this holiday weekend. And I feel like I didn't have allergies before. It's like something new, or like the past couple of years have been kind of bad. I don't know. Like, I feel I wasn't like this before. I don't know. Is this what happens when you get old? Again, I don't know. Maybe I should stay home. I'm trying to like pinpoint what's going on with me. But anyway, I was told to get some local honey because that really helps with allergies. And also I'm taking meds for allergies. And yeah, I need the meds because I need to be a functioning human being. I couldn't even think. Let me tell you, I couldn't even think with the allergies. Like, I felt like so much pressure in my head. It's crazy. Anyways, I hope your weekend was better than mine. How was your long weekend?
I hear that a lot from some people where they're starting to get allergies in the past couple of years they hadn't had them before. So I don't know what that's about, but it's a thing. But last weekend, I saw The Little Mermaid in the theater, and I loved it. Like, obviously, you guys know I'm a big Disney fan. I thought Halle was perfect. Like, I can't imagine anyone else in that role. She was amazing. Knocked it out of the park. The prince, I don't know if he was cute enough, but...
That's so funny. I do want to go watch that movie. I want to go watch it so bad, but I didn't have time this weekend. Maybe next weekend. We'll see.
Yeah, it's just awesome. Yeah, I have a high standard for Disney princesses and princesses.
Right.
So
the one movie that they're gonna do the live action for is Lilo and Stitch. I cannot wait for that one.
I did not hear about that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, let's get to some of the show. Pride Raiser is live, people. Sign up. Go find Cloud9 Goth. Go on their Twitter page or Instagram. Find them through there, or you can just search for Pride Raiser. Get your bids in. It's going to be a fun month, and hopefully Gotham scores a lot of goals and costs us a lot of money.
Let's do it.
Yeah. We had an undefeated month through May. 2 wins, 3 draws, plus 4 goal differential. Abby Smith won Save of the Week twice. She won NWSL Player of the Week once. Lynn won Player of the Week once. And then, it's been a fantastic month so far.
Yes, it's been really, really good for Gotham this month. Hopefully June is also a good month for us.
Yes, keep the good times rolling. Fans on Twitter voted Lynn Williams Player of the Month of May. Do you agree, Ruby?
Ooh, Player of the Month. I'm going to say she really makes a difference when she plays. And we've seen that difference this year with Gotham. She's always pressuring high. And is always able to get those results. So yes, I do agree. She's Player of the Month.
Yes, more fan polls are coming. I can't wait. They're so much fun. And it's a rare occasion which I disagree. I think it is Abby Smith. I think she's been incredible. To win Save of the Week once is hard to do. She did it twice. She was Player of the Week, and she is the leading Golden Glove leader at the moment. She has a negative 3.7 goals against versus expected goals, which is the highest in the league, which means she's giving up almost 3.5 goals less than what she's expected to give up. Incredible. She's on a roll. We're lucky to have her.
That's incredible. Like, if it wasn't for her, I think this season will be like different if it wasn't for Abby. So thank God we have her there. We always get those good keepers. We also have good coaches. So it's just incredible. And let's go, Abby Smith. Let's hope she gets the Golden Glove.
Yeah.
She deserves it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, defending is holistic, right? You defend from the front. So if Lynn Williams isn't having the season she's having and it puts a lot more pressure on the midfield, puts a lot more pressure on the defense, and then
Hmm.
eventually it puts it on her, as we saw last season. But I still think Abby is having I don't know, to me, a remarkable season.
Yeah. Just last game, she was shutting down Rodman. That's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, she hasn't faced as many, like, we're facing less shots this season, I believe.
Hmm.
But when she's been called upon, she's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's get down to this game. First place was on the line in this game, and now at the time, there was a 4-place tie for first. Gotham can go 3 points clear with a win. The Spirit have only lost one time this season and haven't lost at home. Sounds familiar to our last opponent. Gotham enters as the league's best road team, and Lynn Williams has a chance to take the league in goals. All right, onto the roster. Normal people that were out, except for you can add, Midge is still out for her hip, and Kelly is out for her ankle. Onto the formation. So we are back to the 4-3-3, the tried and true. It has Taylor Smith, Williams at the 9, and Ryan on the right. In the midfield, we have Christy Mewis, we have Neely Martin, and we have Sheehan in the 10. And across the back line, we got Neiswanger, Jean, Krieger, and Bruninha, and Abby Smith in goal. Any thoughts on this lineup, Ruby?
So Martin and Delaney get another start in this game against Washington, which is not an easy team to play against. And it shows that they have been working hard to earn that spot. And like different players get a chance to play. I really like that. This team can perform and they have shown their abilities on the pitch. So that's what I think.
In the commentary,
Yeah.
they said during the broadcast that Ali Long wasn't feeling too well. She was feeling a little bit uneasy, so that was the reason for her exclusion in the A team as far as being a starter.
Hmm.
So every player on this team is seemingly getting a chance to prove themselves. It's a long, long season. I love the rotation that I'm seeing. Giving players a couple of games on and off will pay off down the road.
Yeah, indeed. We have to remember that this season is a marathon, it's not a sprint. And the decision to give players a couple of games off, it's a wise move that shows thoughtful long-term strategy from the coach. And this approach recognizes the value of players' development. For example, Delaney, we have seen her progress and she is getting better and better every time I see her play. On top of player development, it maintains peak performance when it matters the most because we give some players the rest that they need. And I just have to say great job to the coaching staff for maximizing the team's potential as the season progresses. We still have a long way to go.
Yeah, it's the main thing that frustrated me about, one of the main things that frustrated me about Freya and
Yeah.
Scott was not rotating the roster. They had a set 11 and it was them and not anybody else. And our young players got shipped away. And it
Hmm.
just, it fosters an unhealthy environment within the locker room because you definitely see like an A team, B team type thing.
Hmm.
And you know what? When it comes to our young players, turns out VNs can play.
Yeah.
And turns out, hey, who knew? Sheehan can play. Right. So I just think props to Amoros for managing this ridiculously deep roster, especially like this week coming up. We got a midweek game, keeping players healthy, keeping them together. Good job.
Yeah, I do agree with you with that. I feel like sometimes some of these players that leave Gotham and they go to another team, sometimes they excel better in other teams because they are giving the chance. For example, Real, who is with San Diego right now, she is mostly a starter now. She plays great, and when she was at Gotham, we barely saw her play.
Yeah. Pinto, similar type play.
Yep, Pinto is another one.
Yeah. Onto this game. This is interesting. The first 15 minutes of this game, both teams are just playing long balls and bypassing the midfield for different reasons. So, like for Washington, they're just trying to get Rodman on the break and Hatch on the break. But for Gotham, they're playing long balls just to try to push Washington's back line back so they can start their press. And The game turns when Gotham slows down.
Hmm.
Delaney gets on the ball more. Lynn starts taking her time, and now they start playing in their end, and they start really pushing
Hmm.
Washington backwards.
Yeah, yeah. Gotham really dominated in the first half against Washington. And with Delaney's increased involvement in the ball position, and Lynn taking her time, Gotham gains the sense of like control and momentum on the field. It was great.
Yeah, let's talk about that goal. That
Right?
goal, yeah, that goal comes from Bruninha taking it upon herself to just float to the top of the 18. I don't think anyone expected it. I certainly didn't. No one tracked her from the Washington side. I remember Taylor Smith passing her the ball, and my brain was like, what is she doing there? And then she just turns, places a perfect ball to the far post, kisses the top
Yes.
crossbar. Fantastic.
Oh my God, fantastic. Yes, that was a true golazo. It was such a great goal. She was all alone with no one marking her. She took advantage of the situation and a beautiful goal from Bruninha. Like it's I don't know if it's the Brazilian, I don't know, but it was so perfect. It was beautiful. And she has good striker qualities, which makes her a threat as well. Last season it was Anumanu and Purse making all the goals. And now is anyone that gets the chance and has the opportunity to shoot can make a goal.
Yeah, past 2 weeks, our most threatening players have been our outside backs. And Jenna didn't get a goal in this game, but she was trying.
Yeah.
She was ripping shots on that. They were getting blocked, but she was trying. During this part of the game is when the rain starts to come down. The field gets pretty slick, and Gotham's having a harder time controlling the pitch. But Gotham still is the better team in the first half. They had 65% possession, and Washington was only completed 63% of their passes. They were really pinned in. Onto the player notes. I think this was a good first half for Krieger and for Ellie Jean. I think with Bernina pressing forward, I put them both on an island with Rodman and especially also with Hatch. They both held their own, and Krieger has that ability to play long switches and just to bypass the pressure. And it was really opening up the spirit as they try to force Gotham to one side.
Yeah, I believe Krieger's long switches were a key for Gotham in this game. It played a crucial role here. Her vision and technical skill is really good. Yeah, like you said, she really held her own here.
Yeah, it doesn't show up on the stat sheets. I think if we're looking at, say, FOTMob, she was rated like a 6 point something, right? And some fans took exception to that, which I get. I get. Her stats weren't very good. However, we know that she was being influential because she was
Hmm.
pushing Rodman away from goal, cutting off her angles, and just
Hmm.
keeping her away. But things like that happen. Another player I want to talk about again for the second week in a row is Sheehan. I think she's been really special. She's like having an alley long higher up the field. She's just so hard to knock off the ball, and she's just dictating where the game is played, and she's just manipulating Washington's pressure all game.
Yeah, she does give me that Ellie Long vibe sometimes.
Hmm.
And there were moments when it seemed like she has like a magnetic force on her foot. I don't know. Like it looked like so easy. Like she was keeping the ball under her control like easily. It looked really good. Even when she was confronted by two or three Washington Spirit players, they were closing on her. She would navigate her way out. I love and I enjoy watching her style of play.
Yeah, it's another tool to use, and we'll probably get to this later. But now Gotham has so many different tools to open up so many different defenses, and
Hmm.
yeah, she's going to be really important for us going down the road. Get to the second half. This is going to be exactly what Gotham wants to do. Gotham has Washington pinned in for the first 15 minutes of this half. This is a beautifully worked team goal that gets overturned under dubious circumstances. That's the best way to put that. And Paramount Plus goes black screen in protest.
and And I have to say that the rain didn't really help in this situation when it started raining. It seems like the ball was traveling faster on the field with the wet field. And for a minute, after that call, for a minute, I was like, is it just me? What's going on? Like my screen went black as well. I had to text you. I was like, is your Paramount working? Because mine is not. What's going on? And I have to say, by the way, that was not a handball. At least in that angle that they were showing, it didn't look like a handball. I think it like touched her thigh. That's what I'm that it looked like. It just sucks that, they took that goal away from Ryan. Ugh, I think we need a goal from Ryan.
Yeah, she's been working so hard. If that is the only angle that they had to see, I don't see how that got overturned.
Yeah.
Her hand is basically at her side. I don't see the ball leave her thigh area, so I don't know what they saw. But I'm assuming that they had better view than that because that did not look clear and obvious. But that does change the momentum of this game, and it gives Washington a second life. They get a goal from a set piece seemingly right after.
Yeah. After Gotham was dominating the first half and the first 15 minutes of the second half, and then after that VAR check and the disallow goal for Gotham, I feel like Washington elevated their performance, and it just fueled it just fueled Washington's drive to tie the game and probably even win. Thank God they didn't win.
They did change the momentum of this game, and it gave them again a second chance at life. Gotham
Hmm.
decides about the 70th minute or so to just pack it in. They make multiple defensive subs. However, Gotham ends up pinning Washington in their half for the final 10 minutes of the game. So it wasn't all defensive, but you just can't get the deserved go ahead goal. All right, on to player notes. Like, as we just talked about, you just have to feel for Ryan. She's been so good and so close.
Like so close yet so far. But
Yes.
I do feel bad for her because she was so excited for that goal. Like she was celebrating and so happy. Kind of broke my heart that they had to take it away.
Yeah. And also, welcome back, Kawasumi. Again, a
Yay.
very smart player who can just create chances from wide areas as good as anybody.
Yeah, this is the first time this season we get to see Kawasumi on the field. It's good to see her back. I kind of have forgotten about Kawasumi, but Kawasumi's return to the team brings an added dimension of creativity to Gotham's gameplay.
Let's just get to it, Ruby. It is hard not to feel hard done in this one. Gotham was clearly the better team on the pitch for most of
Mhm.
this match. They had the home side pinned in for a good amount. They
Yes.
dominated the stats. It's kind of frustrating. Gotham imposed themselves on the top two teams in the league on the road. Fantastic. We got to feel good about that.
Yeah. If you like see the game overall, yes, Gotham dominated the game overall. So, like you said, it is frustrating that the stats show one thing, and then we ended with the 1-1 tie. Yeah, it kind of sucks. They were able to do that against the Oil Rain and Washington. So I do agree they were able to like win against Oil Rain, and they were also able to not lose against Washington Spirit, which is great because those are two of the top teams right now. And now their third and final challenge comes this Sunday against San Diego, which is another of the top teams right now.
Yeah. Going into these last two games, Gotham had the lowest strength of schedule. The only top five team we placed was OL, and we lost 2 nothing. So we were definitely in that game, but we still lost. But admittedly, I was a little hesitant to be a little overconfident going into these last two games, but Gotham proved themselves. They belong at the top of this table. Teams want to come out and play at home, put on a show for the fans. Gotham came out fearless, and they were the better team. So I'm really excited for the San Diego matchup. I like our chances.
Yes. And after Gotham's great performances in the last two games, it's hard not to be excited for their upcoming game against San Diego. It's an exciting time for the fans. There's a genuine belief that the team is able to secure another win and stay on top of that table.
If Gotham's going to do it, they should do it from getting a set piece opportunity goal. All the goals so far have come from open play and Midge's 2 penalty kicks. Hopefully, the next evolution in this team's offense is scoring on a set piece.
Yeah, talk about missed opportunities there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, despite having a total of 12 corners on the last game against Washington, the team couldn't find the net at all. with those corners. Gotham really needs to work on the corner kick strategies and finish.
Good teams win at home and draw on the road. I think this was a pretty complete performance, and it still feels like there's a lot more growth this team can reach.
Yeah. Gotham has, I feel like Gotham has this immense untapped potential, and they're not there yet. But when they finally unleash their complete capabilities, no doubt they will dominate.
Yeah, still feels like a work in progress, and but
Yeah.
we're getting better every week. Speaking of which, the post game quotes, the players are really understanding, executing, and people are enjoying watching us play. Amoros.
Yep, I agree. And he's right. I mean, I've been enjoying watching Gotham play every week. I feel like every time they come on the pitch, like we don't know really what to expect. And that's what I
Hmm.
like about it. And then we come out with like a nice surprise, either winning or tying against these teams that are challenging.
Yeah, speaking of not having or not being expecting Gotham to do what they do, Coach Parkinson said the team bus was late and they didn't get off until halftime. 2 games in a row against two of the best coach teams in the league, the coaches admitted to not have to having no answer for Gotham's game plan. Well done, Amoros.
Hell yeah. Kudos to Coach Ambrose and the entire staff and the team for their hard work. They've been working really hard. This accomplishment just sets the stage for even greater achievements as Gotham continues to leave opponents in awe with their game plan. They just don't know where to go. They don't know what they're going to do, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. So, what are your stats of the game?
In this game against Washington, there was great ball movement from Gotham. They had 75% accurate passes, and they had, like you mentioned before, 61% ball possession. What's your
Yeah.
stat?
To show how much Washington was pinned in their own half, they only had 63 passes in Gotham's half of the field. Gotham had 128 in their half.
Wow, 128. 128 passes in Washington's half. That just shows great control and command of the game in Gotham's part.
Yeah, bonus stat. So last season, at the end of the season, Gotham had 2 players above a 7 rated on FOTMob, Mewis and Zerboni, and which is an individual stat quantifying program like we talked about earlier. So this year, Gotham has at least 12 players, 7 or above. So this team is in remarkable individual form. Let's get to our player of the week on Twitter at OverGothamPod. Fans chose Bruninha. Thanks to all the fans who voted. Do you agree, Ruby?
I definitely agree. The fans are right once again this week. For me, Bruninha is the player of the week as well. So, 2 goals in the last 2 games. She's putting in the work.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing this time. So no argument for me. Lock her up. I mean, her contract runs at the end of the season. Side note, if Benfica is looking at young Gotham players to pull over to Europe, I think Bruninha fits that profile. And speaking of that, I wonder if this partnership was done under the premise that summer transfer window and Gotham has a spot open. I'm curious if Gotham might get a player from, say, their team as well.
Yeah, that would be interesting, but I hope they don't she doesn't go to Europe. She needs to stay at Gotham. And I think and I think she really likes being here as well.
Yeah, she does. I say lock her up. Get
Yeah.
5-year contract. What do we got to do? So let's get to the standings. Gotham is once again on the top of the standings. All
Woo!
right. The second week in a row. What are your thoughts, Ruby?
I mean, a lot of teams are like right there. We have Portland with 16 points, or Rain with 16 points, San Diego and Washington with 16 points as well. So we all know the NWSL is really competitive, and right now we have Gotham with 17 points. So we need another win, another 3 points to stay there on top again.
Yeah, I mentioned this early on in the season, but I really felt like this table was going to start to show a bit of have and have nots. I really think that the top of this table, I think this is what it's going to basically look like towards the end of the season. I don't think many teams are going to pull themselves up from the bottom
Yeah.
in this league this year. Prove me wrong, okay, but yeah, I think there is a clear top and bottom of this table.
Yeah. And I have to mention on this table right now, the standings, we have Angel City in number 10.
In Kansas City at the bottom, we win the off season.
Right? It's crazy. It's bonkers. But again, we're still early into the season, but like we've shown that we are a strong team and we deserve number 1.
Yeah. Let's just get to our next two opponents. Gotham returns home finally, and we have two big ones. So first, we have number 4 San Diego Wave coming to town. Pride Night, 11K plus tickets sold at the moment. Gotham went undefeated again in the month of May.
Yes, 11K. 11K, that's crazy. I don't think I've been to a Gotham game with that many people. So it's going to be really exciting. Plus, it's going to be Pride Night. So it's going to be really fun. Hope to see everyone there this weekend.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
You know what I think? We cannot let Alex Morgan score any more goals, especially at Red Bull Arena, our home. She's been scoring on us like crazy, like for her birthday, for Charlie's birthday, whatever. We need to put a stop to that.
Yeah.
San Diego has won 2 out of the 2 games that we had played in the regular season last year, and that has to change, especially at home. Like I'm telling you, this win is really important.
Yeah. Put my foot down. I want revenge. So Morgan's 6 goals against us, that cannot stand last
Nope.
season. I remember, Pepperidge Farm remembers, this isn't last year's Gotham. Let's go defense.
Exactly.
We also have quick turnaround back home again. I'm really looking forward to these 2 long drives. But Orlando midweek at home, Challenge Cup is back. I'm excited about it. Any thoughts on that matchup, Ruby?
It's back. Challenge Cup is back. Right now, we are leading our group. That's amazing. Hopefully, we can stay that way. But Orlando sometimes is a little sneaky. Like they won against Washington, and nobody saw that coming. So, and we need to win another one against Orlando and keep it that way. Again, we have to win the Challenge Cup. We have the potential to do that, and also we have the potential to win the championship.
This is going to give us a good chance to just separate ourselves from the pack and put us in like pole position to get out of the group. And
Mm-hmm.
we had to beat Orlando at home. And Orlando put up a good fight last time, but I feel like they were a little bit one dimensional, just going through Adriana all the time. So I think that given what Amoros can do, I'm expecting him to have a good game plan to reverse that. And I like our chances at home against Orlando during the week.
I think the next couple games, like you said, set pieces are going to be key if we want to win. Just kind of like take them by surprise because we haven't done that this season. So if they work on that, maybe we can surprise them and score more goals.
Yeah. So what are we manifesting this week?
So for this week, since Ryan didn't get her goal, I want Ryan to get a goal this next game. I'm manifesting it. Ryan for a goal. What about you?
All right. I'm going to start getting a little crazy with these. Okay. So I want more goals from defenders, possibly this time a center back, possibly the center back. Just putting that out there. I'll let the soccer gods decide which center back is the center back. All right. Any random thoughts before we go?
Yes, I do have a random thought. Yesterday, my wife and I did something really spontaneous. We are big Paramore fans. We've been I've been listening to Paramore since I'm like 16, 17, so that's like half of my life. And I've been to pretty much, I would say, 3, 4, maybe 5 of her shows. And they were in New York last night. And my wife was like, "Do you want to go to the concert?" I was like, "Yeah, I want to go to the concert." She's like, "Well, there's like a couple of tickets. They're a good price. Let's go." I was like, "All right." So I bought them. We changed really quick and we went to New York City at the Madison Square Garden and we went to see Paramore. It was amazing. I love Paramore. Haley Williams, so much energy on the stage. It was amazing. Like it just gave me like I just felt like a teenager again.
Paramore at Madison Square Garden?
Yeah.
That is pretty darn cool. I've always liked that band. They've always been in like peripheral or like on the bubble of bands like on that list that you just have to see, and I just have not seen them yet. And every time I've seen like a live thing from Haley, she's just so commanding, and just seems like it's just a super fun time. So I'm glad you got to do that.
Yes, it was so fun. And there a fight broke out like in the general admission, and she stopped the song. She was in the middle of the song. She is like, "Oh, what's going on here? Why are you fighting?" And then she's like, "Yes, I'm gonna embarrass you in front of everyone. You shouldn't be doing this." She's like, "At freaking Madison Square Garden, get out of here." It was so cool. I love her.
Yes, yes. My random thought is it's funny how people would do stuff like that just because, like, you're going to get kicked out of a Paramore concert. Like, how are you going to go home and tell your friends
Right.
or your coworkers that why you're in jail or why you got
Right.
picked up by the police because I got in a fight at a Paramore concert?
It's ridiculous, but
Yeah,
yeah, I love Paramore. Like
yeah.
one of my favorite bands.
Sounds good. Let's get to our next segment, shall we?
Let's talk about the women's national team. Let's go.
Let's
I don't
go.
know.
Hi, fans. Before we get to the next segment, I just want to thank everybody for helping this podcast grow. It's been amazing. We absolutely appreciate you. You can also help us grow the show by repping our merchandise. Please visit tpublic.com, search Soccer Over Gotham Podcast, all 4 words. All the proceeds go back into the podcast for upgrades. Also, 10% goes towards the Black Women's Player Collective, our favorite cause. And now, back to the show. All right, Ruby, back for segment 2. All right, we have a game update for this weekend, the Pride Night match. The Gotham FC match against the San Diego Wave will be shifted from Paramount Plus to CBS Sports Network, and it will now kick off at 6 p.m.
Yay. It only took 11,000 tickets to be sold for CBS Sports to be like, let's do it.
Yeah, right.
But that's good news, actually. That's really good news. It will give Gotham more exposure, and hopefully more fans will know that there's a team, a local team here in New York, New Jersey.
Yeah, it's tough for us streamers, but hashtag go to games, I guess. I guess that's the way to solve that. But all right. The NWSL has announced the 14th expansion team called the San Francisco Bay Area Home will play in 2024. It has been christened Bay FC. The organization announced this Thursday today. So we're excited about that. We're looking forward to beating another West Coast team.
Right? We dominate the West Coast. So
Yeah.
I guess that's the official name, Bay FC.
Yep. That's the name.
All right.
Silver and red and blue. It looks interesting. I'm curious how that new rivalry ship is gonna work out down there because they just started the rivalry between LA and San Diego, and now
Yeah.
like Bay City's trying to sneak their way in there, and like
The third wheel now.
yeah, fight with me too, fight with me too. Yeah. Let's get to what we're here for, which is we're going to talk about the best or worst case scenario for Gotham FC during the World Cup break. First, side note, for the first time, a U.S. Spanish language network will put every game of the Women's World Cup on a traditional TV channel. All the games will also be streamed on Peacock. So you're going to be able to stream this on Peacock, all the games, but they're going to be in Spanish. But that's a big deal for me.
It is a big deal, especially because, there's not a lot of coverage in Spanish for women's soccer. So this is huge for the Spanish community to be able to watch these games. Honestly, since now Spanish is an option, I'm going to watch these games in Spanish because I love the announcers. Go! I
Yeah,
just love
they're
it.
the
So,
best.
yeah.
And it's also better for us streaming fans. Like obviously, like I don't care if I watch it in Spanish, but it's gonna be good because it's a lot cheaper than getting
Yeah.
Fubo or Fox
Oh,
Sports or than that
yes.
and whatever. Just having Peacock, not bad.
Do you know how many free trials of Fubo I've done? It's too many. I
Yeah,
have created emails for just to watch one game because I don't think it's fair to pay $80 for Fubo just to watch one game. So yeah, I'm gonna be watching them on Peacock because I do have Peacock.
yeah. I've gone through all my credit cards just for the free trials.
Right?
Yeah, and it's worked out this season. We haven't I haven't had to use it this season. So far, so good.
Yeah, me too.
Here is a list of the Gotham FC players and what teams they may represent come tournament time. So we'll give our thoughts on form, likelihood, if we feel like they will make the national team, and what factors may help or hurt their case. So we should start right here at home with Lynn Williams representing the USA. Ruby, your thoughts on her?
Of course she's going. I cannot see Lynn Williams not going to the World Cup. I think she already has her flight already ready to go to New Zealand, Australia. It's confirmed. She has her passport ready. I think she's ready to go. I mean, she's leading Gotham with 5 goals scored this season. She has been exceptional this season with Gotham, and I can see her making more goals for the national team. What do you think?
She's a lock. She's obviously in the best form of possibly her career. Before her injury, she was a regular in Vlaco's lineup and is a prototypical forward that he likes in his lineups. So her form is obviously just incredible. She's playing both defense and offense. She's playing multiple positions across the front. So she's going to
Hmm.
be really good. And I think that it's an easy pick for him.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Let's move over to Midge Purse, who also will be representing the USA. Any thoughts, Ruby?
Midge Purse. Man, despite her being a talented player, we haven't seen her much on the field this season. And recently, like in the past games, Blanco has limited her time playing on the field, and that just raises doubts about her chances of making it to the World Cup. Honestly, it's sad. It's sad to me not see her go. I don't think she'll be going, especially because she's been out with Gotham for about 4 weeks now. So again, her contributions have been limited, and it's just going to impact her opportunity to represent her country at a big stage this time.
Yeah, I think it's unlikely at this point. She was a bubble player going in at the beginning of this season, was going to be like kind of a make or break for her. She
Yeah.
started off really, really strong and she was
Yeah.
making her case. But then the injury really set her back. I think she could have been in the running for the Swanson's vacated spot, but I
Hmm.
believe that's probably going to Thompson at this point.
Yeah.
It stinks, but she's still young enough to get another opportunity maybe next time around, which should be nice. But yeah, it's unlikely at this point.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's move over to Bruninha, who will be representing Brazil at the World Cup. What do you think, Ruby?
Bruninha. I strongly believe Brazil also will secure her spot in this upcoming World Cup. She has been performing really well for Gotham. Her impressive defensive skills and even her striking abilities lately that will earn her her place in the Brazilian team for this competition. I am confident she will make an impact on the international stage in this tournament. She's going. Yeah.
Yeah, as close to a lock as you can possibly get. She was getting regular minutes with the first team recently anyway.
Hmm.
I don't think you can deny her form right now. She's playing well again on both sides of the ball. Goals aside, whether she starts or not, that may be another thing, but I think she is definitely on that plane. All right, let's move over to Christy Mewis, who represents the USA. What are your thoughts, Ruby?
When it comes to Christy Mewis, I have to admit I have mixed feelings about this. I really want this for her. And while she has been playing really well for Gotham, I don't know. I have to keep in mind this might be her final opportunity to make the roster for this World Cup. And if we consider potential scenarios, if Korniak doesn't get that spot, Mewis could have a good chance of being selected.
Yeah, we got to see a firsthand look into her mindset during the Snacks podcast when she talked how much making this roster means to her.
Yeah.
She used yeah, it might be hyperbole, but she was saying that her career seems for nothing if she doesn't make this roster. And obviously, I don't believe that, but if that's the way she feels about it, she's obviously putting a lot of stock into this, and it means a lot to her.
Yeah.
I hope that she does.
Yeah, especially when, not only you're competing with yourself, you're kind of competing with your sister because your sister went to the World Cup and she won a World Cup. So it kind of like maybe it's in the back of her head, like I want that too for myself. So I don't know.
Yeah. I'd say it's about 85, 90%. I just don't know what Velasco is doing with this midfield. Honestly, is Ertz going? Does Dunn make her way into the midfield? I want this for Christie. As we said before, she's still one of the best midfielders in this pool. And as a pure left foot striker of the ball, it's hard to find a player that can replace her or do what she does on this roster. She's been playing much better this season than she had
Hmm.
last season. And you can see she's definitely motivated to try to make this roster. Everybody on this team has played better than last year. So you can quantify that. But despite the horror show of 2022, Krieger and Christie were our best players, and I think her end product could be a little bit better. Maybe set pieces, goals, assists, however. But I think that she's playing well enough to make this roster, and I just hope that she does.
Yeah, I really want this for her. I really do. Think it will be good for her to go.
Yeah. On to Nigeria for Ifeoma Anamanu. Is she going, Ruby?
Anuman is another player that I see going to the World Cup as well. I believe Iffy is a great asset to the team. Plus, she's a hard worker and she's very motivated. We haven't seen her much with Gotham, but I know she will be again. She'll be a great asset for the Nigerian team. The last two friendlies, Nigeria won. One of the games was against New Zealand, which was 3-0. By the way, New Zealand is one of the hosts. And the second game was against Haiti, and they also won 2-1. So I see her going.
Yeah, she's a lock. She's been a consistent starter for them. Obviously, minutes have been a hard to come by so far this season for whatever reason, and her form hasn't been her best when she's come in. We talked about this before. A 15-minute player is a whole different type of mindset. It
Mm-hmm.
makes you try too hard, or you're doing a specific role that may not be your preferred skill set. I feel
Mm-hmm.
for her not getting enough minutes going into this World Cup, but I think that she's a lock on this roster. I think she's still one of the best forwards for Nigeria. All right, let's move over to Kelly O'Hara representing the USA. What's your thoughts, Ruby?
There's no doubt in my mind that O'Hara will make it. She is definitely going. She has a strong personality on the pitch, which it's needed when you play, especially in her role as a defender. You need that strong character, a leader on the field that, that'll take care of other teammates when needed on the World Cup. What about you? What do you think?
I think she has to be. She hasn't got consistent minutes this season. There's injuries, and obviously
Mhm.
Bruninha has staked her claim as one of the outside backs in the starting 11 with Gotham. Kelly has also faced, again, we said a little bit of injuries. I feel her leadership because she's been there. She knows how to win. I think you just can't underestimate those intangibles. I think she's more than likely going to be on that roster. Let's talk about Sinead Fairley for Ireland. Do you think she creates this incredible run from not playing to making the World Cup?
Well, we saw her play with Ireland against the US national team in a couple of games, and she did great despite she just had her comeback. She's definitely going to the World Cup. After that amazing comeback, there's no way Ireland's going to leave her out. I think and she's only getting better. If we've seen her week after week getting better. So yes, I think she's going.
I was surprised when she got called in the first time, but immediately the coach said that she stepped in and was the best player on the field for that team, which is there are some talented players on that team. So for her to come in like she has in this team and just showed that she's got something special, it's impressive. I think that she's a lock to get on the Ireland squad. I'd be very, very upset if she did not make that roster. She's definitely good enough to be out there. Again, what an amazing story.
Yes.
Yes. So, any other players that you think might get a call up?
Mm, no, I don't think anyone else from Gotham will be called up. I would like Nice Wonger to get called up, but maybe that's too soon and a little too late for her to get used to the national team squad and, get comfortable with everyone. But I do see her at some point being on the national team.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, right now it looks like it's Thompson gets all the love
Hmm.
from that. All right. I think long is the longest of long shots, pun intended. The biggest question marks on the U.S. newest national team is the midfield, and they still have not sorted out who is going to be that six on the national team.
Hmm.
Haran can do it. I don't think that's her best position. Is
Hmm.
Ertz going to step in? Can she go? Who knows? It's probably a long shot, but I think Long has been, my year that she was off, has been one of the best center sixes in the pool. I think she's been consistent. I think she adds something different. Vlaco knows her as a player, so he might
Yeah.
consider it, but I think that's the longest of long shots. Who knows if she'd even want to do it? And although I'm intrigued by the French storyline of her, I guess, losing her spot to Miller, who knows? I don't think Abby Smith is going to make this roster, but I think it's going to be Kingsbury who enters as the number 3. But Abby's been a brick wall so far. I would like to see her on the bubble, but I think it's Kingsbury who's going to be
Yeah.
ahead of French in this one. So who does that leave us? So that leaves us, obviously, they are listed as a certain position, but they can play multiple positions, as we all know. But as on the roster, we have forwards. We got Neiswanger, Goodman's daughter, Smith, and Purse, because we both think that she might not make it. Midfielders, Long, Kawasumi, Zerboni, Sheehan, and Ryan. Defenders, Krieger, Edmonds, Martin, Flores, and Jean. Oh, and Freeman. Dorsey, we're just going to leave her out for now. Keepers, Betos, Smith, and Haught. All right, so Ruby, who is your best 11 given the departures?
So starting from the top, I see as strikers, I see Ryan, Sheehan, Purse, if she's healthy by then. Hopefully she is. We need her.
Okay.
Then I would put Zerboni, Martin, Long, and then the back line will have Neiswanger, Edmonds, Krieger, and Smith. And as a keeper, I think it's going to be a rotation again. I think Amaros is just going to keep rotating, but preferably it will be Abby. She's been performing amazingly.
Yeah, I agree with you on a lot of this. Obviously, I agree with you. I think on the front line, I think we had wait, I have Goodman's daughter. You have Sheehan
Mm-hmm.
as the number 9. Okay, I just have Sheehan in the 10. It is what it is. And in the midfield, I do have Zerboni and Long, but I have Sheehan instead of Martin, which is on yours, which is fine. And then defense, I think we were across the board the same.
Mm-hmm.
Neiswanger, Edmonds, or Jean, Krieger, and Smith. And then obviously, I think Smith is the starting keeper for this team. Even though I like Mandy a lot, I think Smith's form is putting her above all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other alternatives I could see, I could put Neiswanger out left in the attack and bring Ryan into the midfield. I can see Smith at left back and Jean at right back. Sheehan could be in the 9, as you have in yours. Zerboni, with Zerboni back, there's so many possibilities that,
Mm-hmm.
and all these possibilities are all good ones at this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to post our best 11, and then you can vote on which one you think is better. So hashtag Team Gary.
Hashtag Team Ruby. but but that's the beauty of this team, because this team has so much talent that you can actually like, all right, this player could go here or it can go here, or this other player can go here and here. So we have options, and that is great. And we've seen it over and over when the coach comes with this roster or the lineup or the starting 11. We're like, what is he thinking? And then we're like, okay, I see. So again, this is the beauty of this team.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's absolutely. This team is so deep, has so many options. It's going to be fantastic. And I'm just looking up the weather for Sunday, June 4th in Harrison, and it looks to be pretty
Beautiful.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, 70s, 10% chance of rain. Gonna love it. It's gonna be a beautiful day, and obviously 11,000 plus people in that arena is gonna be ruckus. I can't wait. Cloud9 is gonna bring it. So let's just get to it, shall we?
Let's do it. Let's go.
Hi, everyone. This is Gary. Thank you for listening and supporting our project. Here are other ways you can support the show and connect with us. First, word of mouth is everything. So please share our show with anyone who might listen. Also, please rate us 5 stars on Spotify and review us on iTunes. You can purchase our merchandise at the TeePublic store. Join in the conversation on Twitter at OverGothamPod and Instagram at SoccerOverGotham. Lastly, you can email your thoughts and questions at soccerovergotham@gmail.com. Once again, thank you.
I don't know where I was going here with that.